often do we put limits on ourselves without even realizing it? The Women's Club of Louisville is kicking off its new season with an experience designed to make you laugh, think, and maybe even have your mind read. Kentucky mentalist Josh Fletcher is joining the club for an interactive evening exploring perception, possibility, and the power of imagining what comes next. Here with more are Josh and the Women's Club president, Gail. Thanks for joining us today. I have been looking forward to this ever since the segment has been booked. We will get to the Women's Club in just a little bit, but I am just fascinated on how you can read people's minds.
Okay, so, well, I try to find creative ways to get people to give me the information that I need, or sometimes I figure out a way to get people to think what I want them to think, and then I can do with that what I want.
Okay, so how are you gonna read my mind today?
So, before we came on, I had you look at some symbols.
Yep.
You did not pick one out, you just thought of one, correct?
Yep.
And I asked you to just keep thinking of that in your brain to kind of see if we could isolate and kind of get an idea for the way that you think.
Yeah.
I want you to imagine you have a piece of paper in front of you.
Okay.
Okay, you don't have to like move or anything, but just imagine that you take out a marker and you draw this shape, this symbol. You didn't go for something more abstract. This represents something real.
Yeah.
Did you think of a house?
I did think of a house.
Good, good.
Yeah.
And then I asked you to think of a name of somebody, and at first I was going to have you write it down, but then I had you throw it in the trash because
I ripped
you
it up.
promised me that you would be honest if I got this correct.
Correct.
So think about this person and how you know them.
Okay.
Taller person? No. Okay.
Taller than me.
Taller than you. Okay.
Yeah.
Dark hair?
Darkish hair.
Darkish. Okay. We're narrowing it in. This is a male.
Yep.
I'll be honest, that's just a 50-50 guess, but I nailed it. Okay. Think of the first vowel in this name. Don't tell me if it's at the beginning, the middle, or the end.
Okay.
And can you think of a fruit that starts with this letter?
Yes.
Apple?
Apple.
Okay. And just imagine, don't move your lips. Be careful, people will mouth it, which makes it easy on me, but then
My lips are
Gail's
sealed.
like, I know what was going on. And just imagine saying the name over and over in your head. Slade?
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes. And the significance is that's my fiance, and I wanted to pick a name that it's not a common name. Slade is my fiance.
Right.
We just bought a house together.
Oh,
So that's how
So it all
I picked that
came together.
together.
Excellent.
Oh my gosh, how did you think of that?
I'm curious because I watched all this play out ahead of time, and there was no conversation that led you to get those answers.
No, I wrote it down. I ripped it up. I literally threw it in our trash in our kitchen. And
You did.
oh my gosh. Like, what inspired you to become a mentalist?
So I've always just been interested in those things that people questioned if it was possible or not. I was never the typical kid. I was never, I have zero natural athleticism, so those things did not appeal to me. So I started kind of exploring this idea. You know, I had heard of these people who could apparently read people's minds and tell them what they're thinking. And so I started exploring if that's possible, and if so, how it is potentially possible. And it's taken me to some really cool places and met some really nice people.
Yeah, and just like mind blown of how this is just possible. And you know, we set that limit on ourselves, like, can this be real? But then you prove it time and time again. You do events all across Kentucky, one of which is with the Women's Club. You have a luncheon today, which is going to be so much fun, but you're also coming back in September, is that right?
That is right, yes. September 18th, Friday night. Josh is coming to do a entertainment hour, basically, with us. We are going to have a signature drink from Thornbush and curated small bites ahead of his performance, and then the performance. So we're most excited to actually be able to offer this to the city of Louisville. Josh hasn't done a lot here in Louisville, and we think he's pretty cool.
I think so too, after what he just did. Oh my goodness. And you know, you offer a lot to, of course, women here in Louisville. You've started so many programs, so many organizations. So how do you just, you know, keep leveling up every time? And who would have thought to bring a mentalist to this too?
Exactly. You know, we ask our members for suggestions of, as you live life, you come across things and people. And actually, one of our members had seen him somewhere else, and she mentioned it. So I called, we talked, and I don't know, there was we just clicked. And we're always looking for things to engage the city with. You know, we do our good work, but we also like to educate and at times entertain.
Yeah.
Because we want to bring Louisville together. We want to offer things that allow people to know that we're there too. So it just worked out, and Josh has been so gracious to offer us 2 opportunities. Today's lunch is sold out, so we are very excited about that. And it's a little bit less, it's still entertaining today, but it's got a little more focus on internal processes, right? To kind of think about where you do have your limiting beliefs. And then on Friday night, the 18th, it will be full-on entertainment.
Full on.
Yes, so you want to get those tickets for that, and where can people get those?
You can go to our website, wclouisville.org, and right there on the front page, there's a big picture of Josh. You click the link.
Can't miss it.
You can't miss it. You click the link, and it takes you back to the registration. Tickets are $60 each, but that does get you Josh. It gets you the signature cocktail and the curated small bites. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
It is going to be such a fun evening, Josh. Thank you so much. I can't believe you read my mind today.
Yes, please tell Slade I said hi.
Yes, I will be showing him this segment later today. He will be mind blown as well. But Gail, it is always a pleasure to catch up with you as well. So thank you both so much.
Thank you.
You are welcome. So if you're interested in getting those tickets for September 18th, just head over to wclouisville.org.